is Alex Mercer. They call me a killer, a monster, a terrorist. I'm all of these things. 3 weeks ago, someone released a lethal virus, woke up in a morgue. Now I hunt, I kill, I consume, I become. I'm gonna find out who did this to me, and I'm gonna make them pay.
Necrophage.
Hi guys, and once again welcome back to my channel. Given the intro I showed you, I think you already know what I will talking about in this video. You got that right. You got it. The fusion of Resident Evil and Prototype franchise. But it's not just any amalgamation or a fanfiction where Alex meets Nemesis or Leon Kennedy with Claire face off against Supreme Hunter. Not at all. The concept behind the Necrophage universe proposes on combining two universes and make them feel natural to the story. That means we take certain assets from both games, but at the same time we come with new ideas and also remaking current lore to make sense in this new fictional universe. Before expanding on the lore of Necrophage, let's establish what existing ideas and concepts will be incorporated and remade. First, let's see the existing elements from both franchises. In case of Resident Evil, the main characters, Leon, Claire, Chris, Sherry, Jill, Carlos, Nikolai, Hunk, William Birkin, Nemesis, Mr. X, Albert Wesker, Umbrella Corporation, Raccoon City, the Tyrant Virus and the G-Virus also remain in Necrophage. When it comes to Prototype, this is what will remain in Necrophage. Alex Mercer, both as the real person and the virus that copied its personality. We also have Dana Mercer, Robert Cross and Elizabeth Green. Both blacklight and red light viruses exist in Necrophage. Now we get to what remains out of the picture and gets rewritten or just thrown away completely. In case of Resident Evil, the famous Tyrant outbreak happens in the year 2008. If you ask why, that is because I want to give the Necrophage universe a more modern approach to what happens in the story, and to help the audience relate a lot easier to the characters and events present in the plot. To make myself clear, this has nothing to do with actual Prototype or Resident Evil. It's not like this universe exists as parallel reality to the other two. What I essentially do is take certain characters and events from both games and make something new. Anyway, let's get back to it. In this series, Albert Wesker is the owner of Umbrella. They experiment with the Tyrant virus in order to sell bio-weapons to other countries. In short, Albert seeks to profit from wars. But something goes wrong, and the virus infects the residents of Raccoon City. To erase any trace of his deeds and make sure the virus does not spread more than Raccoon City, Umbrella sends multiple tyrants to kill all residents. In this series, Claire and Chris live in Manhattan, but they both come together in Raccoon City to start a better life. In this universe, Leon is not just a RPD officer. He is chief of RPD. Mr. X, Nemesis and Birkin have same origins more or less. Now, let's come to Prototype and see what stays and what goes. In this reality, Gentek work from shadows. Nobody knows about its existence. Not even Umbrella. The outbreak of hope remains in Necrophage and the numerous experiments done on Elizabeth Green. As well, the existence of Pariah. However, after the Hope incident, Gentek retreated on a distant archipelago located in Micronesia. Unlike Umbrella, Gentek is not interested in selling bio-weapons but rather to create the perfect human. Unlike Prototype, the real Alex works at Gentek on the archipelago. And after he finds out the truth and gets shot with stealing the vial, the virus from the broken vial copies his body down to genetic level. The Blacklight virus, now codenamed Zeus, believing itself to be Alex Mercer, sweeps the entire archipelago. On the same archipelago, Zeus accidentally releases Elizabeth Green to find out the truth and she infects the small population of inhabitants and destroys Gentek. In this universe, Supreme Hunter does not exist. Therefore Robert Cross is not consumed by it. Instead Robert understands the evil behind Gentek and he helps Zeus so they can both escape the archipelago. To make sure Red Light is erased from existence, both Zeus and Robert plan to use Gentek's own nuke launcher to cause the archipelago to self-destruct. To make sure Red Light is erased from existence, Both Zeus and Robert plan to use Gentek's own nuke launcher to cause the archipelago to self-destruct. Unlike his prototype counterpart, Robert is a super soldier who is capable of reaching above average human strength. Zeus and Robert plan to take a helicopter after they set the nuke to explode. But after their plan is a success, Zeus does not make it to the helicopter. And Robert flies away alone. Now a wanted man, Robert flees to Raccoon City in hopes Gentek would never find him. 5 months later, Zeus' biomass remains end up in Raccoon City's clock tower surroundings. Zeus consumes enough biomass to assume its humanoid form again. After Zeus reforms itself, it sets a new mission to find Dana Mercer, who is now present in Raccoon City. Zeus was able to find out that information through the first scientists it consumed when it was at the morgue. Because now the nuke beat Zeus down, it will have to work its way up again to acquire new abilities by consuming the infected present in Raccoon City. Liquor will be the substitute to Zeus' Whip Fist. Tyrant will be the equivalent to Zeus' Claws. Giant Alligator will give Zeus the equivalent to Hammer Fists. G-Adult Type will give Zeus the ability to infect its hostiles. Consuming the Drain Demos will give Zeus the ability to shoot with acid. Consuming Nemesis will grant Zeus a new version of biological armor. Or appearance if you like. In its armor form, it will be bigger and resemble a spider. And Zeus will also be able to use different abilities as it stays in its armor form. A stronger Whip Fist in the form of a tentacle and more potent acid-spitting ability. Only downside being that it reduces Zeus' mobility. And it cannot jump. Zeus in this form has the same size as Nemesis. Back to the story. In this universe, Zeus will cross paths with all main Resident Evil characters as he tries to find Dana Mercer. And in order to blend in, Zeus is forced to hide its true identity in order to not scare its companions. Because their paths cross, Zeus will try to help Claire in her battle against Birkin and help Leon in his fight with Mr. X. As far as the development of the story goes, I haven't put anything on paper yet. I just gave you a short resume of what Necrophage universe is like. And, no, I don't include anything from Prototype 2 in case you wonder. In this universe Blacklight Virus is not capable of creating Evolve because it follows loosely the canon of Prototype 1. It would either kill its infected or turn them into monsters. Anyways, I hope you liked this video. If you have any suggestions, please do let me know for future content. I wish you all a happy day. Stay tuned for more.